We're in a last tour bus. 이 투어버스가 가장 마지막이에요. 4시 15분에 출발해서 이제 1분 후에 30초 후에 출발할 건데, 그리고 이게 마지막으로 아마 45분 후에 도착할 거예요. 마지막 정류장에. So maybe this streaming has no talk. 말은 없을 거고 한번 그냥 쭉 타보고 가려고요. 그냥 mp3 끼고 그냥 혼자 앉아있을 수도 있지만 왠지 그냥 틀어놓고 싶네요. 혹시 즐거워하시는 분이 있을지도 모르잖아요. Actually, maybe I can just turn on the streaming, and maybe I just can off the streaming and just hearing some music by myself. But I wanted to turn on this streaming because I wanted maybe someone enjoying this, isn't it? Even there's no talk and quiet screaming. And I heard Darwin's sunset is so beautiful. So if we have a nice timing, maybe we can see some sunset view during this streaming. 다윈이 해가 지는 풍경이 진짜 예쁘다고 하는데.
Gentlemen, welcome aboard Darwin Explorers Hop On Hop Off City Tour. Thanks
Yes.
very much for joining us
Only
today,
me.
where we're going to spend the next hour and a half taking a look at the famous sights of Australia's tropical harbour city, Darwin. Your ticket is your passport to unrivaled freedom, where you can hop on, hop off at any of our many stops, take a look around and then rejoin a later bus. Please, however, ensure that you keep your ticket in a safe place, as you'll need this if you choose to alight from the bus and then wish to rejoin us again later. Your ticket is valid for 24 hours from the time of issue. It should be clearly visible. Buses operate until various times of the day depending on season, so please check with our staff for the time of that last bus today. For now, however, just sit back and enjoy the ride. Please do not stand while the bus is moving for safety reasons. I know you'll understand. Keep a lookout for any low branches, especially after rainfall, where they may be weighted down just a tad. Now we're about to drive down Mitchell Street. This is the main street in Darwin's Central Business District, or CBD. Coming up on the left is the Mitchell Centre Shopping Complex. Housing, as well as a range of shops, a variety of good restaurants and some popular local bars. This is the place to stop. Just across the road on the right-hand side, as I said, Crocosaurus Cove, where the brave, or just plain stupid amongst you, can swim in a glass cage with the largest croc you've ever seen. Now, if you want to get to Crocosaurus Cove, if this interests you, then ask your driver for fast-track entry tickets And we say goodbye to you right now.
Hello. How are you going?
I just wanted to looping this bus.
Sorry?
I just wanted to sit down and see the city on the
Okay.
roof. Yeah.
Yeah, so another loop. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the only problem is you'll notice you're welcome to come. It's good. But this time of year, this time of day, the sun starts to go down a bit glary, you know.
Ah, really?
Yeah, it gets a bit glary.
Ah, okay. So if I'm too hot, maybe I can move this much more back, right?
I guess so.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. When we get out to East Point, you know,
Uh-huh.
did you see any wallabies?
Oh, I couldn't see wallaby.
Okay, so if you come with us this time, fingers crossed, alright, fingers crossed, we will see some. Because as the sun goes down, the wallabies, they come out.
Oh, really? Oh.
So we'll see, maybe. Sometimes you go out there, there's a lot. Sometimes there might be something that scares them, you know. And then you won't see any for a few days.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Actually, I was trying to searching some wallabies when I was at the military museum, but
Yeah.
there's no wallaby, so maybe they're hiding from the sunset, right?
Okay. So we'll have a look at that. We'll go for a drive out there and see if we can find some.
Yeah, I really.
I'll give you a hand. They're pretty hard to see sometimes. But yeah, I like them, you know. Like, you know, have you seen our kangaroos? Kangaroo?
Oh, kangaroo is in here too?
No, these are wallabies.
Ah, okay, okay.
So a wallaby is the same as a kangaroo. Kangaroo has bigger ears and his snout is bigger,
Uh-huh.
right? These ones are smaller. But like a male, when they stand up, you know, they stand up like this and then they stand up to
Uh-huh.
fight. Right?
Yes.
When they stand up, one of these males, he might come up to here,
Uh-huh.
right?
Oh.
But a kangaroo, big one, he'll be up here.
Wow, much more bigger than me,
Yeah.
right?
So, and they're quite big actually. But it's a bit of a long story, but we're talking about, we call them, or Aboriginal people, they call them old men.
Oh.
Old men, right? They're old, right?
Yeah.
But they're very big, very solid. The arms are about that round.
Oh, wow.
So they're old men. So when the Aboriginal people, they go out walking in the bush, these things, they're territorial, right? They attack you.
Yes.
But they're not that dangerous. But if you are in the desert and you have only a spear, you don't want any trouble, right?
Yes.
So they treat them with respect.
Uh-huh.
They're like a man.
Oh, okay.
But these ones, we only have small wallabies, but they're cute.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Anyway, we'll go for a drive.
Thank you. Can I ask your name?
Oh, Jason.
Thank you, Jason. My name's Rudy.
Rudy.
Yeah, thank you for your advice.
We'll go for a drive.
Yeah. Wallaby. So, this bus driver Jason told me that wallabies were escaping from. They were hiding from daytime, but this last tour bus is starting from afternoon. Maybe we can see. He was doing this. Maybe we can see wallaby because they come out from the bush and starting to move. So yeah, let's expect. We can see some wallaby
In
there.
fact, the population of the whole Northern Territory is just over 230,000 and is spread out over 1.3 million square kilometres. Known as the gateway to Asia, Darwin is truly a multicultural city. It has one of the largest Aboriginal populations of any Australian city, as well as large Greek, Chinese, Italian, Vietnamese, Indonesian, Filipino and Timorese communities. These different cultures bring a vibrancy and diversity that is unexpected in such a small city and makes for a very exciting range of dining experiences. You're in for a treat here.
Only me in this last tour bus. Oh, much better.
We're now coming up to our next stop, Doctor's Gully. Located nearby is Aquascene Fish Feeding, which is around about a 5 to 10 minute walk from here. Due to the tidal nature of the fish feeding, check with the driver for times for the next fish feeding display.
Fish feeding.
As we leave and drive along Mitchell Street, we're driving through the suburb of Larrakia. This suburb is named after the Larrakia, or saltwater people, who are the traditional Aboriginal owners of this land. As we continue down the hill, the area hidden away on the left is Doctor's Gully. It was the medical officer attached to George Goyder's original survey team who mapped out and planned Darwin in 1869, although then it was known as Palmerston. It was here that Dr. Pepper found our first natural water supply, and the original well is still named Neil's Well, and is now a heritage-listed site. It was also here during World War II that the Carolina flying boats of the 43 Squadron, or Black Cats, landed on the base and carried out reconnaissance and rescue missions, but also acted as bombers against the Japanese. Despite being flying boats, the Carolinas could carry up to 16 250-pound bombs, stay in the air for up to 30 hours non-stop, and could cover 4,000 kilometres without having to refuel. Remarkable aircraft for sure. Ahead of us is the site of the old Darwin Hospital. Closed in 1980, it suffered from quite an unlucky history. The original 89-bed hospital was opened for business on the 2nd of February 1942, and just 17 days later it was bombed by the Japanese. It was then placed under army control and remained so until June 1946. By the 1970s, it was obvious that due to an increased population that a larger hospital would be required for the future. The decision whether to expand the old or build a brand new one was made in 1974 when the old Darwin Hospital was badly damaged during Cyclone Tracy. Today, Casuarina Hospital is known as Darwin Hospital, becoming fully operational on the 20th of May 1980. The unfortunate saga of the old Darwin Hospital was closed. Was it jinxed or what? Now we're entering one of Darwin's most elegant and exclusive areas, Cullen Bay. Cullen Bay is an engineering marvel. With very high tides, the reclamation project was a complex undertaking. 150,000 tonnes of rock was brought in from Mount Bundy Station, 140 kilometres south, to build the sea wall. 1 million cubic metres of sand was dredged from the harbour and pumped into the land project to build the residential islands and roads. Cullen Bay is today one of the most desired residential areas in the north of Australia.
We're on a tour bus and enjoying the view of scenery. This place, Darwin.
Incorporating Darwin's proud, unique history and heritage and magnificent climate, this really is a unique and special part of the world to live in.
So,
We're proud of Darwin and we love to show it off to you.
So this time streaming, maybe I'm not gonna say not so much, because maybe if I stop talking, maybe you guys can hear the guys, right? So we're gonna.
The downside of being in a tropical environment is that we're subject to severe weather. Cullen Bay Marina was designed with this in mind, so has been built to protect with locked waterways and high seawater, and a huge 8-door lock that controls all vessels and water entering and exiting Cullen Bay. In fact, Cullen Bay itself is a registered cyclone haven to both small and medium-sized maritime vessels that may happen to be within range to take shelter here when a severe weather warning is issued. Very smart.
Maybe we're here. I'm the only one person is riding on this bus this time. See, there's no one. Only me and you.
We're now approaching our stop here. So if you're leaving for a look around Cullen Bay, please ensure you have both your belongings and your ticket with you.
Cullen Bay is okay. So we're in a ferry terminal in Cullen Bay Marina. So our bus, we're going to turn around and go back to the 5 next destination, Cullen Bay Aparts Military Point. Oh, there's a golf court near here. Golf links, visitor center. Okay, let's go. The sunset is so bright in here.
As we return through Cullen Bay, I'd like to talk about our weather. Here we say it's either hot or hotter. Unlike the rest of Australia down south, we don't have 4 separate seasons. Instead, we have a dry season and a wet season. The official start of the dry season is the 1st of May until the 1st of October. In truth, Darwin temperatures can get quite chilly in the dry season, well, by our standards anyway. Sometimes as low as 13 degrees overnight. Don't laugh, that's freezing for us. At the end of September, the mercury starts rising as the wet season starts. It gets hot then, although surprisingly, the maximum temperature rarely goes much higher than 38 degrees.
38
But that's
degrees?
not the cause of the heat alone. It's the humidity at over 95%. That's hot, even for us.
I really wonder how people can live in here. Hot or hotter? Wow.
Early Point Heritage Precinct, which consists of just 4 houses. What makes this precinct special is that these are the last 4 houses of their kind. They're museum pieces still in their original location, as they are the only examples of pre-World War II Darwin architecture. The houses were built in the early 1930s, and remarkably, they survived both the bombing of Darwin and Cyclone Tracy. We're now heading downhill towards one of this area's most famous markets, the Mindle Beach Markets, held alongside the beach every Thursday and Sunday from 4:30 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. during the dry season. If you have a chance to visit the market, you'll also experience a sensory overload of flavours and colours. There's stalls operated by local artists, many of whom can be found creating the artworks they sell, alongside of some of the tastiest food stalls offering a wide variety. The hardest part is choosing which one to try first. Yum. To our left we have the casino, and very shortly we'll arrive at our stop for those of you who want to go and try your luck. Inside you'll find over 1,400 electronic gaming machines, known locally as pokies, as well as the more traditional baccarat, Caribbean stud poker, roulette, blackjack, and many other games. So the question is, are you feeling lucky? Well, are you? If not, then this is also your stop for the Mindle Beach Markets and the Botanical Gardens.
That garden. That was the garden. This is the marketplace.
So, off to your left tomorrow night is a big market here.
Oh, really? Tomorrow?
A big market, yeah. They have a big market here on a Thursday evening.
Thursday, okay.
So you could just catch a public bus down here. A lot of people get here, well, they start at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
But, you know, like you see the sun now, it's really glaring. It gets quite glary, so I think it's better later. Like,
Yes, yes.
It's a night market, it's for the night time. So if we would come down here normally around about, say, 5:30, with the idea of getting something to eat, and then you
Yes.
go down and you watch the sunset. Yeah. So you see lots of people go down and watch the sunset.
Yes, yes.
And then
That direction, right?
have your
Okay.
dinner on the beach, and then come back and you may catch the night market.
Okay.
And you see there's lots of buses over here on the right. This is buses number 4 and number 15 will take you into the city.
Okay.
They come through every 15 minutes. Sorry, every
number 4 and
25 minutes.
16. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not doing, that's a nice thing to do tomorrow.
Oh, thank you.
Now, did you want to listen to the commentary, or you turn it off? What do you want to do?
I really enjoying the
Oh,
commentary.
you like it?
Yeah.
All right, okay, that's good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Right then.
Oh, he was so sweet. He explained about this place. So there's a night market tomorrow. I thought it was Saturday, but it was Thursday. So, he recommended me to visit here and after 5 because maybe nearly 4 the sun is so burning like this. So he recommended me visit here after 5 and you can take a bus number 4 or 15 in here, 16, maybe 15 or 16 in here. And that bus come here every 15 minutes, so you can visit here with that bus. And he also asked me to, is it okay to turn on the commentary or turn it off for me? So I just told him I really enjoying listening the commentary.
To our right is the George Brown Botanical Gardens. Now, George Brown didn't start the gardens and wasn't even born with the
So
gardens.
sweet.
The
And
gardens
he
were
remembered
first
my
made here in
name. Yeah.
1886 the equivalent of around $250 million today. Unfortunately for the Vestige brothers, the Great War going on in Europe meant a labour shortage, as most of the labour market was away fighting the war. A result of this was the wages demanded by workers soared, and soon the Vestige payroll was so big, the meatworks was no longer viable. It closed its doors in 1919. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, we're now approaching our next stop, the Museum and Art Gallery of the Northern Territory. The museum was first opened in 1981 and consists of 5 major permanent galleries: a touring gallery, education facilities, school groups, a theatre, a museum shop, and if you're feeling a little peckish, it has a great cafe. If you're leaving us here, please keep your ticket in a safe place, and we look forward to welcoming you back a little bit later.
Actually, this museum is closed at 4. That's why there's no people, because it's over 4:40. So people are already leaving from here. See? Maybe the bus Jason told me was 4 and 6, as you can see. Yeah.
Welcome to passengers joining or rejoining us here. Please ensure you remain seated throughout the journey for safety reasons. As we move away, look to your left, and maybe slightly obscured by the trees, we can see East Point Reserve, and that will be our next point of call. But if you'd like to visit, you can purchase tickets directly from your driver. Before arriving at the Military Museum, we'll also be travelling through the mysteriously named suburb of Fanny Bay. The suburb of Fanny Bay takes its name from the adjacent bay, which is believed to have been named by the surveyors of George Boyder's expedition in 1868. They surveyed the whole of the area that is now Darwin, and it's believed they named this bay Fanny Bay after Fanny Carandini, who was a popular opera singer of the time. Today, Fanny Bay is best known for its jail and its racecourse, which is home to the annual Darwin Cup Carnival. The carnival runs over 6 weeks, and the Darwin Cup itself is held on the first Monday of August each year. The Darwin Cup Carnival attracts more than 20,000 horse race enthusiasts, and the numbers increase each year. Coming into view on our left is the Darwin Sailing Club, and a little further along is the Trailer Boat Club. These clubs are both family orientated, great places to pop in for a meal or a drink. There's also some great places to view that famous turning into East Point Road, if you look back to the left, you have a great view of the Darwin Harbour and of Darwin itself. Darwin Harbour itself is huge. The Darwin region includes Port Darwin and Shoal Bay and covers 3,227 square kilometres. The magnificent houses to our right certainly have million-dollar views. This is a very sought-after residential area. To the left is a walking track offering some of the most scenic walks. This track leads ahead to our destination of East Point, or in the other direction back into the centre of Darwin. Why wouldn't you stay fit living here? As we drive ahead, we can see land on the other side of the harbour. This is called Cox Peninsula. Less than 500 people live in Cox Peninsula, mainly due to the distance needed to travel to access the area by road. There is a shorter way. Don't advise this. Crocodiles are regularly caught and removed from the harbour, which, if not off-putting enough, is made worse when at certain times of the year the deadly box jellyfish also swim in the same water. You have to be keen to be a swimmer here, or very stupid. Please don't. We're now approaching East Point Reserve. Please remember to remain seated at all times whilst the bus is moving. We want you to stay safe, so just sit back and enjoy the views. East Point Reserve is a special place for the people of Darwin and is one of the most popular recreation areas for both locals and visitors. Not only is the reserve readily accessible from both the city and the suburbs, but its range of attractions is considerable and is by far the largest park area in or near the city. East Point Reserve covers almost 200 hectares, of which 30 hectares includes natural forest land. If you look to the right, you'll see Lake Alexander. This was originally just coastal marshland, and now the 3.5 hectare lake is the main element that sets East Point Reserve apart from other picnic areas in Darwin. Although man-made with seawater drawn from nearby Fanny Bay, Lake Alexander has a water quality better than that of naturally occurring pools, making a body of water that is safe for swimming throughout the whole year. It's crop-free. East Point Reserve provides safe swimming, a range of barbecue and picnic facilities, and a beautiful landscaped environment with uninterrupted sunsets and magnificent views of Darwin and Fanny Bay. It's next to the most popular family beaches in the Darwin area, but is actually better known for its long military history. There's also a range of military-oriented tourist facilities in East Point, including the multi-million-dollar Defence of Darwin Museum and the Gun Turret Precinct. That's where we're heading. This natural beauty and example of territory lifestyle is just a bonus along the way. Hidden away on the left is one of Darwin's most iconic and prestigious restaurants. Established here in 1900, East Point Reserve showcases an imaginative design that openly displays the natural beauty of Darwin. spot to view the sunset. Also views of the Darwin city skyline. Due to its popularity with locals, seating and shaded areas were added in the best locations so you could get clear sunset from Dudley Point. Designed to prevent entry of enemy submarines, it was designed to be lowered for friendly vessels, whose approach would be verified from an observation tower here, the remains of which is still evident today. The former East is of major historic significance as the area is the last major fortress built on Australian soil. It's also Australia's only battleground and as such played a major role in the overall wartime naval strategy of both Australia and Britain. Although large 150mm and 230mm anti-aircraft guns, however, the artillery units were left here untouched until the 1960s, and then they became the Royal Australian Artillery Museum, which was eventually opened in shortly will arrive at the main attraction here, and it certainly is, the Defence of Darwin Museum. If you'd like to visit the museum, then please ensure you have all your belongings with you and also your tickets, very precious. You'll need that if you want to rejoin a bus later in the day. Tickets are available from your driver, and also check with your driver the times of later buses.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
unfortunately I can't see any.
Yeah, me too. I just keep seeking the wallabies, but I guess it's okay. It's
Yeah.
beautiful enough, isn't it?
The problem, I'll tell you the problem. We have a problem. See the car over there?
Car. The
Yeah.
car.
So he shouldn't be there.
Really?
Right. So I seen him over there with some friends
Okay.
yesterday,
Oh.
and this is what has scared them. See?
Okay. Maybe
I
that
don't know
makes sense.
what he's doing over there, but
Maybe
'cause
camping.
You can walk into the bush, you see, and some people go they do bird watching or what have you like that. But they're scared off all the wallabies, so they'll
Okay.
be scared until in a few days, and then they come out again.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
It's a
sad.
shame. I'm sorry. but
No, that's okay. No.
It's a shame. But yeah, we have only one customer, and that's you.
Oh, really?
So you get red carpet.
Yeah,
You
I
get a
mean,
special tour. Here, crocodiles?
yeah. Hearing the crow talk.
No. People talking about crocodiles.
Oh.
Have you seen any crocodiles?
Yeah. When I'm rainforest tour in other place, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In Cairns. Yeah.
Oh, in Cairns.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have crocodiles here,
Oh.
but we have in the harbour of Darwin for
Yes.
public safety. They have rangers. We call them rangers. They're
Rangers.
these guys that go out and they catch crocodiles. They set nets.
Okay.
And they catch the crocodile, and then they take him out away, and then they let him go.
Oh, they do not kill them, right? Oh.
Only if you have a really big one, that is a problem.
Oh,
you know,
okay,
like a
that's
problem crocodile, then they take them to the crocodile farm. In the world comes from up here.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. This is with the Gucci and all of those handbags. A lot of those handbags. They farm them here. You see.
Oh, okay. Actually, I read some a really huge crocodile about it was named was Sweetheart
Oh yes.
in the museum. I saw
Yeah.
some statue of it. It was
Yeah.
so huge.
Did you understand about him?
A bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
half is understand, half is a bit difficult.
So
Yeah.
all the locals, they knew him.
Oh.
So they know him and they give him a name, Sweetheart, right? And as well. but in fresh water. It's beautiful, beautiful fish. Anyway, so people go fishing for them.
Yes.
And people would be out fishing and they had little dinghies. We call them dinghy. Only a little boat. Right? Only might be only from there to there, only a little one, you know. And they go fishing. And that crocodile, what he would like to do, he didn't like the motor, you know, the motor on the back. He didn't like that.
It's so noisy, right? Okay.
Yeah, he would come up and he would rip the motor off.
Oh, wow.
And so next thing you know, you see it's very dangerous in crocodile waters. And so it was very dangerous. So what happened is they tried to catch him, and they didn't try to kill him. They tried to catch him, but when they
Yes.
medicine, and then he went to sleep, but he drowned on the bottom. You see. So now he lives in a museum. That's sweetheart.
Poor sweetheart.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. But yeah, because he didn't hurt anybody. It's just that he just didn't like the motive. But so everybody knew him. But it's dangerous. But he never hurt anybody. See, so up here, when you come up here, out here with the low tide,
yes,
you should see crocodiles on the beach.
Really, in
You
here?
should, but you don't. There's not. Right? And the reason is because we have the men out catching them, take them out of harm, and taking them away from us, because they're very good at catching us, right?
Yes.
So we take them away, right? And so then it's quite safe on the beach, but you can't be silly, right? So when the tide is low, you can see them, right? But when the tide is high, like now, when the tide is high, the water, then you walk along the beach, you can't see them, and they can get very close.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So a lady was just, if you walk along the beach here, about 5 kilometres, you're going to come to a suburb. I live there. It's Nightcliff, a place called Nightcliff. Very pretty. It's on the beach, and a lady was walking along on the beach. This was about 2, and she ran. Right.
So
she ran away.
Yeah, she was safe. Was she safe?
Yeah, well, that crocodile got as close as 4 meters to her.
Wow.
Right? Because if you're running away from the water,
yes,
their comfort zone, they're happy near the water. But if you run away from the water, then they're not, you know, that's out of their comfort zone. You know. So she ran away. Lucky, she got away. Right? But so they are here, but not in the numbers they used to be. But you have to still be careful. So if you go outside of Darwin, away from Darwin, not by very far, then you really have to be careful.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's just an interesting fact. So when we go out, on the way out, off to your right, I'll slow down. It's quite a nice view. You can see the city.
Yes.
I'll just give this guy a ring. Yes, hello, Matt.
Oh.
Glasses.
I'm on the red carpet.
Sorry, I'll just get back to you in a minute. There's a glass.
Wow. I have something back in here. Let me know that we can see wallabies in here. Because of the, can you see that car? It's not. It actually is forbidden, but because of the car, maybe wallabies will get scared and do not want to come out. And I didn't take a picture, but inside of the museum, the art museum, there's a huge alligator statue. It's called Sweetheart.
Oh, okay. So looking for some glasses.
I actually heard some sounds. They're tumbling on the ground. I heard some sound. Was it just leaves?
Yeah, no, I can't see anything. I'm sorry? Yeah, so on the way back, have a look. I'll slow down. You can see the city because of the sun. It'll be better now. It's behind us. So looking back on the city, it looks quite pretty actually. So I'll try to slow down.
Yes.
Right? And then after that, you go walk. You know the water on the left. Right. So what we're going to do is I'll drive past, and what you're looking for is some big, you know, foam.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we call that a buoy.
Uh-huh.
Foam buoy. Anyway, there's two of them. One is white and one is black, right? Sitting on the water, but they're not holding any nets or nothing. They're just sitting there,
Oh.
right? Why? Because crocodiles, it's so that we know if there's a crocodile in the water.
Yes.
Right? So the crocodile, his brain,
Yes.
he cannot tell the difference
Yes.
between a bird and the buoy, right? He doesn't
Uh-huh.
know. So what he does is he looks like that, right? And then you get foam everywhere. And then you and I, we know that there's a crocodile there.
Oh.
You understand? That's why we do that.
So what? Phone boy?
Yeah.
What
a
was the
foam-
name?
A foam.
Phone boy.
You know, a foam is like you know, it's white
Uh-huh.
and it's very light and it floats. Yeah. So it's like it floats on top of the water. But the
Ah.
crocodile, he doesn't know if it's a bird. So then he bites it, and then the foam, it breaks, and then you and I, we know there's a crocodile there.
Oh.
So what I'll
okay.
do is I'll slow down and show you.
Okay,
It'll
okay.
be- I won't be able to come up, but you'll
Wow,
see off,
yes.
off your left.
Oh.
Personal tour.
Oh, thank you so much. What a special day. You made my day.
Yes, Yuri. Okay.
Wow, it was a personal tour. So, what he told me over 5 meters. Really be familiar with that crocodile. Everyone knows that crocodile. So whenever people caught the crocodile, they didn't try to kill it and release to the wild, but whenever they trying to release the crocodile, they usually use an injection. But because of the too much injection, the crocodile finally couldn't wake up again, and people can see the crocodile. But in high tide, we should careful so much because we can't see the crocodile's head.
Now, population control methods will
만조라고 하나?
refer to
그
as family planning. The number of
물이
wallabies
높이 차 있을
today has been
때는
brought
조심해야
down to
된대요.
around
악어가
600.
잘 보이지 않아서. 밉새들 밉 형제들. I'm literally on a golden red carpet.
You may also see some bandicoots, brush-tailed possums and various species of reptiles as we drive through the reserve, as well as over 35 different species of butterflies and 133 different species of birds. The monsoon forest, as it's known, contains several camouflaged jungle fowl nests that allow observation of the unique birds here. Amongst the mangroves there are also many species of fish, as well as various crustaceans and shellfish. All these animals live together and utilise the special ecology of mangroves for breeding and feeding. Slightly further out to sea is the offshore coral reef that's often visible during low spring tides. This is unique because it is a major reef system providing a rich and diverse ecosystem for sea life and is protected as part of a maritime reserve on the inside of Darwin Harbour.
So he told me he's gonna really driving so slowly so that we can see the. 아 저건가?
Whilst you keep looking out for wildlife, I'd just like to go over Darwin's human history, starting with the ancient history of the Aboriginal people of the Larrakia language group, who were the first inhabitants of the Greater Darwin area. For centuries, the Larrakia had established trading routes with Southeast Asia. They also traded their Asian imports with other tribes as far away as South Australia and Western Australia. Knowledge knowledge of these trading routes come
악어가
from physical
가끔씩
evidence
부표라고
and from
해요.
stories that would
그거를
be passed on in
씹어먹는데요.
song form.
그래서
Indeed, communication between tribes
왜냐면
was
그게
largely
먹을
by
건지
well-established
구별을
song
못하니까.
lines that went
그래서 그게 막
throughout the
부서져
country.
있고 그러면은
These songs would tell
악어가 밑에
stories
있는
and
거니까
histories
조심해야 돼.
which would be retold and recorded along the routes.
파운보이라 그랬는데 무슨 보이라 그랬는데 그게
The Dutch first visited Australia's northern coastline in the 1600s and created the first European maps of the area. This is why there are so many Dutch names in the area, such as Arnhem Land and Groot Island. Despite Australia's strong British influence, the first British person to see Darwin Harbour wasn't until over 200 years later. Lieutenant John Stokes of the HMS Beagle first spotted Darwin on the 9th of September 1839. The ship's captain, Commander John Wickham, named the port after the man he had befriended on a previous trip, Charles Darwin. In 1869, the settlement of Palmerston was established with a population of 135. In the early 1870s, Palmerston felt the effects of gold fever when gold was found at Pine Creek, which is about 200 kilometres south of here. Gold had been found while digging holes to stand the poles for the newly invented telegraph system. Eureka! The subsequent gold rush meant that by 1875, the population had dramatically increased to around 300. Palmerston was renamed Darwin in 1911.
저거를 파운보이라고 하는구나.
In the early 1940s, at the outset of World War II, around 10,000 Allied troops arrived in Darwin to defend Australia's northern coastline. On the 19th of February 1942 at 9:57 a.m, 188 Japanese warplanes attacked. It was the same fleet of planes that had bombed Pearl Harbor, but a considerably larger number of bombs were dropped on Darwin than had been used on Pearl Harbor. The attack killed at least 243 people and caused immense damage to the town. For the sake of morale during wartime, the real casualty numbers and the seriousness of the whole bombing was downplayed, and little was actually reported at the time. But apart from this bombing raid, there were at least 64 over the following 18 months. Despite these attacks, Darwin's development was actually furthered considerably during the war, with roads constructed connecting the region to Alice Springs in the south and Mount Isa in the southeast. After the war, Manton Dam was built in the south to provide the growing population with water, and on Australia Day 1959, Darwin was granted city status.
낚시하는 소년 같아서 그렇게 보이는 거구나. So maybe they call the fishing boy was because the shape of that boat or fawn looks like a fishing thing. That one, white and black one. And maybe we can see crocodile on this beach when it's low tide.
On Christmas morning of 1974, Darwin was struck by Cyclone Tracy, which killed 71 people and destroyed over 70% of the town's buildings. For 3 hours, howling winds gusting at more than 250 kilometres pounded the city, causing unbelievable damage. The wind speeds may have been stronger than 250 kilometres, as many who lived through it say it was. We'll never really know, because there was no measuring devices, because they couldn't withstand those sort of speeds. They were all destroyed. After the disaster, 30,000 people of the then population of 43,000 were evacuated in what turned out to be the biggest airlift in Australia's history. The city was subsequently rebuilt with newer materials and techniques designed to withstand a repeat of the worst cyclone in Australia's history. In recent years, major upgrades and increases to the Australian Defence Force in Darwin, Palmerston and Katherine have seen more growth in the area. This, along with the discovery of oil and natural gas in the Timor Sea, added to the forward momentum and will further impact Darwin's growth. The new East Arm port area is to develop as a marine supply base to service the liquid natural gas industry, a multi-billion-dollar industry. Darwin,
Hello,
believe
hello.
me, is not
No,
standing
it's
still.
okay to chat. I just listening to
Visitors
the.
too often
I just
express
listening to
surprise
the
at how
guide.
modern this Darwin is.
Actually, I'm
Most
the only
buildings are in
passenger
fact
in this
new,
tour bus
and this is
because
due to two
this is the last
major
tour
disasters.
bus,
The bombing
and
of
I'm the only
Darwin
one.
and Cyclone
And
Tracy.
bus driver
This
James
place can certainly keep a town planner
Jason
in work and
explained
builders,
lots of
architects, and a host
interesting
other
facts
great
for
people
me.
as well.
It
But
was
of course,
glad
as a result
for
of
me.
these events, Darwin has very few historic buildings. Some of the strongest stone structures survive, and they've had any damage repairs.
No, I can see it.
And
Thank
now
you.
stand fully
And
restored.
thank you for stopping
and like
me
all
again.
buildings have now met a strict cyclone building code. Southeast Asian influences are seen in some of the architecture here. And a growing population and relatively scarce buildable land has seen a large increase in high-rise apartment-style housing in the central business district and around the coastal fringes. If you've noticed the number of steel-looking high-rise buildings, it is because here, steel is a popular and fashionable
because there's
building
no
material
passengers
and has
and
led to a distinctive modern
this
style
time
of
is
apartment only really
museum
associated
and
with Darwin and known
auxiliary
locally
times
as
are already
Tropos.
over. There's no
This
more
mixture of
passengers
property
in here.
styles set Darwin
So,
apart from other Australian cities.
Jason, the driver, explained fun facts so much to me, and
And so we come back on the main road in Fanny Bay and
the
we'll
guiding
soon turn
tour
into the
bus
suburb of
time is a
Perak.
bit delayed,
We'll
but
turn
I
right
really
at the traffic
appreciate
lights here,
it.
and I'd like to remind you to remain seated while the bus is
lucky.
moving and look out for any low branches.
No,
As we drive
this
straight
voice
ahead, you'll
is
probably
a
notice the
recorded
stretch of road
voice,
is both very
but
long and
maybe before
very
you came,
straight.
he
We're in Ross
just
Smith
climbing up the
Avenue, and
second
Ross
floor
Smith is a
and
famous
let me
pilot.
know some fun
So
fact
we
about
are now driving
crocodile.
along what was once the Perak airfield. The airfield was established here in the suburb of Perak
He
as the
told me
Australian
it's really
terminal
dangerous
for the
to go outside
1919
from
England to
Darwin, this
Australia
city,
air race.
because there's
The
lots
air
of
race was quite
crocodile
clever. It was actually
hiding
a way of
under
returning
the
Australian
water.
flying corps pilots
So
and crews
on
to
the
Australia
low tide,
after the
people
secession
can
of
see the
hostilities
crocodile's
in World
head
War
or
I.
lying down on
The
the beach.
pilots were of course
But
required
in a
to fly
high
their
tide,
aircraft
people
home,
can't
and
see
the
the
incentive to do
crocodile.
so
So
was a
people should
£10,000
much more careful
prize,
about that
an
because we
absolute
can't
king's
see.
ransom at the time. The prize was offered under strict conditions. The winners had to achieve something never before achieved and had to reach Australia from London in less than 30 days. And it had to be completed before the end of 1919. Well, Ross and his brother Keith Smith landed here and claimed the prize, having accomplished the first ever flight from Europe to Australia, distance of 18,500 kilometres in 27 days and 20 hours. Incredible for its time. The Japanese bombed the aerodrome in a number of raids on Darwin during 1942, resulting in extensive damage. And as a result, the civilian airport at Perak was closed at the end of 1946, giving us this long, straight road.
High place.
As we approach the traffic lights ahead and cross the Stewart Highway, it may interest you to know that the Stewart Highway is the main road leading out of Darwin. In fact, this little road leads quite a long way out of Darwin as the highway continues from here to Port
Hi.
Augusta in South Australia, some 2,800 kilometres away. Don't worry, we're not going that far on this tour.
I wonder where are we? Here or there?
John McDowell Stewart of Stewart Highway fame was one of the most accomplished and famous of all inland explorers. Stewart led the first successful expedition to walk from south to north of Australia and return. Now this is quite some terrain and took 4 years, from 1858 to 1862. love this next part. Now, no tour is complete without the mention of beer. So on the left you may see Bishop Street followed by Brewery Place. This was the original home of Carlton and United's
Street.
Darwin Brewery. The brewery opened in 1957 and made the iconic Darwin Stubby. The original Darwin Stubby was a mere 2.25 litres in size. Although the Stubby has had many changes in size over the years, it continues to be a much sought after commodity. Now, the brewery closed in the late 1980s, taking the iconic Darwin Stubby to Queensland, which doesn't seem right.
I guess sun goes down so hurry. Actually, before 30 minutes ago, the sun was so bright and couldn't see it easily, but now it suddenly goes down so fast. It's evening there? Yeah, it's 5:21 p.m. So maybe in your hometown it's morning, right? Tiger Bernard PR? Aha. 10 a.m.
We're now driving along Tiger Brennan Drive, and due to some major upgrades over the last few years, this
Low
is now
shower.
the road of preference
Lots of
for any
traffic.
tours driving out to Litchfield National Park or Kakadu National Park. Harold Tiger Brennan himself was quite a colourful character. Having been a politician in his early days, he later became the mayor of Darwin and was the mayor when Cyclone Tracy hit. Famed for his love of a stiff drink, it's a widely believed tale that he remained sleeping through the whole Cyclone Tracy episode, waking up on Christmas morning surprised to find his roof had disappeared.
Okay, we are here now.
To the right is the Chinese cemetery. This old cemetery was an exclusively Chinese cemetery. Although no longer used, it's administered by the Changhua Society and is a reminder of the strong connections Chinese people have had with the development of the north of Australia. The strongest Chinese connection was with the gold rush in Pine Creek back in the early 1870s, when most of the prospectors were Chinese. Coming up on the left is a suburb called Tipperary Waters. This is one of Darwin's newest and more exclusive suburbs. Hidden from view behind the main buildings is a small marina where there are scattered a few very nice places to eat.
Actually, this place is a bit similar with Korea. Ilsan. There's a city named Ilsan. This looks like that.
We're now driving along Francis Bay Drive, and although there's no official record of where the name for the road comes from, it's believed that George Goyder, the original Survey General, named it after his wife Frances, the mother of his 9 children. Now, had he named streets after them, Darwin would be much larger. The area on the left is known locally as the Duck Pond, where fishing and pearling boats are moored. Ladies had said that the pristine waters of the South Sea provide the best pearls in the world, and Port Darwin is where they're brought into. Coming up on the left are the local fishmongers. If you're after a feed of some real
fish
territory
market.
seafood, this is the place to visit. After all, nothing beats a fresh local barramundi or mud crab. It's a food we're world famous for. Yum!
Yeah. Oh, it makes me hungry.
The fishing company to our left, formerly Perkins Shipping, looks after the shipping of the goods to many remote areas and islands, including Dili in Timor. You may notice the black rubber wall running along the bottom of the wire fence. This is in place to stop the dreaded cane toads from entering the yard and boarding the boats. This works as long as they remember to shut the gate as well. To the left is another piece of Darwin's military history, the naval oil storage tanks. In 1936, the tanks were constructed here to hold marine standard heavy black furnace oil for the Navy fleet. During the bombing of Darwin, these tanks were targeted, but they survived, although 5 tanks received considerable damage.
How were the crocs? Hello, autumn glory, lilac. I'm gonna call you lilac. Hello, lilac. How were the crocs? Actually, I couldn't see croc today because I'm in a city, but I have seen it several crocs in Cairns. I guess.
As we continue to drive, we're
Crocs
now
are
heading out to
usually in
Stokes
a
Hill
north
Wharf.
place.
On the wharf itself, there are a number of fantastic eateries serving lunch and dinner. And before you board a harbour cruise, you might want to visit the bombing of Darwin and Royal Flying Doctor Service Museum. The museum tells 2 iconic Northern Territory stories in one location. In fact, life-size holograms tell the stories as you experience virtual reality like never before. Also, you can climb inside a real Flying Doctor Service medical aircraft. If you want to experience this, then tickets for entry can be purchased from your
There's
driver.
a small amusement park in there. It's beautiful. Burning sun.
To the far left, you'll see large white fuel tanks, which form part of a large independent petroleum import and distribution terminal called Vopak. Just the other side of the tanks can be found the terminal for the GAN, one of the
There's a
great
cargo
trains
ship.
of Australia, taking one of the great train journeys of the world. If we have any passengers on the
huge
bus
cargo
today
ship.
that are lucky enough to have come here on that fantastic train journey, I'd just like to offer a special welcome to you. A little further ahead in the distance, you'll see East Arm Port, which was opened in 2000 and being able to accept vessels up to 80,000 tonnes. It immediately became a vital wharf for mining, bulk liquid and live export shipping. Behind East Arm Point is Bladen Point, where the Impex liquid gas project is situated. This 5-year, $34 billion project has changed the landscape and some say the economy of Darwin. Gas is piped in from fields up to 890 kilometres
that
away
cargo ship
and
dragging
is
some
cooled down to
smaller boats.
minus 161 degrees, which is where the natural gas becomes liquid in those big white tanks or eskies.
See?
As we get closer to our next stop, I'd like to tell you about Stokes Hill Wharf, which has a long history dating back to the early 1800s. Having
If I
been
have
used
some
both for the arrival
appointment
of European
to
settlers,
boys,
then by
maybe I
ships
should
and
hang
flyboats
around
during the war,
in
when
here
it became a
with them,
target
isn't
and was hit with the full force of Japanese bombings. Lastly, on a lighter note, if you think you recognise this area, well, it's from the movie Australia, which was filmed right here. Although the cattle didn't run on this wharf, that was a wharf double in Queensland.
Such a romantic
We'll
place.
soon be arriving at Stokes Hill Wharf. If you
there's
wish
a
to enter the
agenda
bombing of
under
Darwin
there.
Museum, tickets can be purchased from our
Nice.
driver.
I want to play that too. So wow, city view. And bus driver Jason let me know that crocodiles cannot distinguish the plastic or humans. So sometimes crocodile bite some, how can I say, the floating things, marking some ocean plates. So if that floating things are broken, that means crocodiles are under there, because they can't distinguish which one is eatable or don't. They just break the things. I gotta go attend some meeting and work. Enjoy the rest of thank you, Toki. Thank you for stopping me and enjoy this streaming. Yes, I guess I saw what you told me. The boy.
Oh yes.
Yes, I guess I saw them.
Yeah. It's simple, but it works. Ruby. For you,
Yes. Rudy.
Rudy. Down here, come down here for dinner. Now
Ah.
you see there's a little bus that goes back and forward, which
Yes,
is free.
Ah,
So you
really?
can get it, it's free. So you can jump on when you go under the walk. We'll go
Uh-huh.
under the bridge shortly, a bridge. So you can walk over the bridge. And you can walk into the city from over there in 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
But you can jump on that bus for free
Oh, yes.
and come out here
Ah.
free. Right? Rudy, you come down here, Rudy.
Yes,
You
yes.
come down here for dinner.
Uh-huh.
You're going to get a table on the water's edge,
Yes.
right? Bring some bread,
Ah.
brown bread.
Oh.
The food,
Brown bread.
not very good.
Oh, okay.
But it's cheap. You get a table on the water's edge, get right on the water, you throw your bread in the water, right?
Ah,
Be
egg number
very
8?
generous. Lots of water, lots of
Oh.
bread. The fish that are going to come up, these are called giant trevally.
Oh.
They're like that. And another one is a batfish.
Backfish.
So trevally are like a tuna. They're very fast, right?
Oh.
But remember, you're looking at a beautiful fish like that, but please remember, you know you're only looking at a baby.
Oh.
They grow to 6 feet long.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful fish.
Oh.
But it's a nice thing to do.
What was the fish name?
It's called a giant trevally.
Giant trevally. Okay.
They're beautiful actually.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. All right. You must do that before you leave.
Yes. Wow. He recommended me that the bus in the moving toward this place is free, so I can ride on the bus and go to the city center. And he recommended me some brown bread in here.
Welcome
not
aboard
food.
to those joining or rejoining us
The
here.
next
Please
thing
be seated as
here.
we head back to the waterfront precinct. As we leave this historic part of Darwin, we can
So
see over to the
modern
left
for me.
a very impressive view of the growing cosmopolitan and very tropical city. And what a great view, and what a great city it is. As modern as Darwin becomes, it seems to never lose touch
Wow,
with its
the
past.
seagull
And
flying
today
away.
Darwin is still known as the best place to buy works of art, especially Aboriginal art, and some great pieces can be found in the galleries and even in some of the markets. And sometimes
Oh,
you can
maybe he
even
talks
watch
to
the
me
artists
the
at work and buy
breakfast,
works
the
as soon
white
as
one.
they're dry.
Oh, it says there's a name, free shuttle. And maybe, as he told me, table number 8 is really nice to see the fish in here. Giant or great? Anyway, that fish. Maybe I should reviewing my streaming after I off the streaming and hearing his saying again.
We're now stopping here for the waterfront. And now we're approaching the modern, vibrant and increasingly popular waterfront precinct ahead of us, whilst on our left is the award-winning Darwin Convention Centre, and directly in front of that, the Darwin Wave Pool. A peculiarity of geography is that Darwin doesn't usually have waves unless there is a cyclone, of course, so the wave pool is very popular with local children. It's also free of some of those natural nasties you may not wish to swim with in the ocean. We're now stopping here for the waterfront precinct and also our stop for the oil storage tunnels. If you're leaving us here, please keep your ticket in a safe place, and we look forward to meeting you again later in the day.
Oh, there's a Korean restaurant in here. Maybe I can take some meals in here when I miss Korean food. Seems so yummy. 한국 식당이 있어서 저기서 배고프면 좀 먹을 수도 있을 것 같아요. 근데 엄청 비싸겠지? 내가 혼자 사 먹으면?
A warm welcome to passengers joining or rejoining us here. Please ensure you remain seated throughout the journey for safety reasons. To the right are located the entrance to the World War II oil storage tunnels. The military importance of oil during the war was such that apart from the above-ground oil tanks that were subjected to frequent Japanese bombing raids, construction of 8 tunnels was approved to provide underground oil storage facilities that would be safe from bombing. These tunnels were to be built in secret, meaning manpower was mainly non-mechanical, meaning the builders could only use picks and shovels to dig them with. Because of this, only 5 of the 8 commissioned tunnels were completed before the war ended, and the tunnels were never used to store oil. Despite this, for a small charge, you could take a tour of the tunnels if you'd like to.
See, we were there. World War II oil storage tunnel. So we are heading to number 12.
We're now approaching our stop for the Fort Hill Walk. On days when there are cruise ships moored here, this can be a place of almost constant activity. Of course, when there's no cruise ships visiting, it can be whisper quiet here.
Nice. How about the bus stop? So should I take up the bus in here? Maybe not. Isn't it?
As we head into the CBD, the Central Business District, we'd like to make mention of the industries we have here in Darwin. Firstly, whilst we're here, there is a cruise ship industry. Cruise ship arrivals in Darwin are growing in number every year, and of course we in tourism welcome this growing industry. Cruise ship travel is becoming ever more popular, and so now more than just valuable to many local businesses, to some they are absolutely vital. Not all cruise ship arrivals here are scheduled. We also receive cruise ships taking shelter from cyclones. You'll see ahead an overpass. Now, this overpass is a handy walkway for those who come from Smith Street to the increasingly popular waterfront precinct. For tourists, it also acts as a great lookout spot. You'll often see people admiring the views from up there. If you see someone, why not give them a wave? Incidentally, the Aussie wave or bush salute is when a person waves their hand in front of their face to wave off flies. This replaced the older and somewhat unfashionable bush hats with corks hanging from strings. Today, the bush hat is hardly seen except in souvenir shops, and Aussie wave is no different from anyone else waving. Looking down to our left, you'll see an old stairway. From as early as the 1880s, visitors to Darwin would arrive by ship, which could take weeks or months, and after this journey and disembarking at the port of Darwin, they would have to climb this walkway to town, which became known as Chinaman's Walk, named both for the Chinese stonemasons who constructed the pathway and steps, and also in recognition of the many Chinese gold prospectors who arrived here from China. In fact, until 1911, there were more Chinese than Europeans find a great banyan tree, dubbed the Tree of Knowledge. To our far left, behind the trees, is the Chunghwa or Darwin Temple. Next to the temple is the Chinese Museum that houses photos and artefacts highlighting the struggles the Chinese immigrants had to face. Now, interestingly, the exhibit showcases both the way of life of early immigrants, the early version of Chinatown, which was almost completely destroyed during the Japanese bombings. The museum and temple serve as living reminders of the significant contributions the resilient and resourceful Chinese people have made to the colourful, rich culture, overall development and economic prosperity of Darwin, and are important focal points for important gatherings and festivals such as the Moon Festival and New Year.
We're here.
Coming up on the left, you'll notice a big white building, which is Parliament House. It's known to locals, however, as the Wedding Cake, because
Wedding cake.
according to the locals, it is white, square, and full of fruits and nuts mixed together with alcohol. Parliament House has been located here since 1994.
Wedding cake.
To the right, not to be mistaken, is the Administrator's House, or Government House, with its perfectly manicured lawns. Built in 1871, Government House is the oldest European-style building in the Northern Territory, and doesn't suffer from wedding cake jokes.
Oh.
To the left is the Supreme Court, which was opened for business here in 1991. I'm told a visit here can be very expensive, so best to avoid it during your visit. The two buildings on the bottom left are the old courthouse and the police station, both built in 1884. These two buildings were the Northern Territory's original courthouse, police station and prison cell blocks. During the bombing of Darwin, they were used as naval headquarters before being refurbished to their present condition. And so we turn into Smith Street and head towards our terminal. To the right is the Christchurch Cathedral, which dates back to the early 1900s.
Wow, 1900?
Coming up on the left is the old Palmerston Town Hall ruins. The Palmerston Town Hall was opened in 1883 for use by the Palmerston District Council, which of course later became Darwin Town Council and remained in use until 1937, when it became a library. The bombing of Darwin actually totally missed the building, and it stood proud until Cyclone Tracy hit in
Okay,
1974.
we're done in here.
Despite the dreadful damage caused, it was decided to retain the ruins as a historical monument. It really is a monument to Cyclone Tracy. We're now approaching our terminal and we'll be finishing this particular tour here. If you're leaving us here, please ensure you have all your belongings with you. That's very important. And also your Explorer ticket, which is
Jason? Your name was Jason, right?
That's right. Yes.
So appreciated. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's good to meet you there.
Yeah. I hope you have a...
Rudy?
Yes.
Very nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from South Korea.
South Korea.
Yeah. Are you a citizen of Darwin?
I'm sorry?
Are you Australian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been here forever.
Oh.
But not in Darwin. I lived here for 12 years.
Oh,
I
okay.
like it here, you know.
Yeah.
Very relaxed.
It was so,
When
it
you
was so beautiful.
come outside there, I'll show you. So when you go for dinner,
Dinner?
right? You know we're talking about feeding the fish,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's good. I shouldn't tell you, but you know those fish, they like chips.
Chips.
You know chips?
Potato chips, right?
Potato chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like, everybody likes potato chips.
yes,
They
yes.
like them too.
Uh-huh.
So in order to get down there, in
Uh-huh.
5 minutes, you just walk straight down there,
Yes.
over the walkway,
Uh-huh.
and you'll be going down a lift. So then you're very nice off to your right. It's
Uh-huh.
very beautiful actually.
Yes.
And you can actually walk out to the left, or you can catch that little shuttle bus for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. Yes.
out
Yes.
to the end of the
Ah,
pier.
you told me that, right?
It's
Uh-huh.
nice. And also, they have a very good ice cream shop.
Oh, ice cream shop.
Yeah, off down here, off to the right,
Uh-huh.
around to the right, very good ice cream shop.
Okay.
A little bit expensive, but very good.
Uh-huh.
You get an ice cream,
Yes.
and then you sit down on the lagoon.
Oh,
you know, there's a
ah,
little,
yes,
little
yes, yes.
lagoon.
Oh,
Sit
yes.
on a lagoon. You find yourself a nice boy, and you're
that's a nice boy.
a boy. No, I'm a boy. You're a girl.
Ah, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you find a nice boy, and that's where you hold hands and that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very nice spot. And over here, you
Yes.
see, we went past a little cinema.
Cinema.
It's just if you walk straight up here and turn left,
Yes.
there's a little. Then you go down a hill,
Yeah.
down a stairway. You see some signs
Oh.
pointing you to the cinema.
Okay.
It's called a deck chair
Deck
cinema.
chair cinema. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's all out in the open. Okay.
Oh.
It's actually very nice. So you
Nice
go-
dating place, right?
No, not for eating, for watching a cinema.
Yeah. Dating place.
Oh, dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to, if you decide to do that, it's actually a nice thing to do.
Uh-huh.
But you have to find out what's on and when they start, when
Yes,
the
yes.
sun goes down. See, it's all out in the open.
Oh.
But you have to be careful of the insects they bite.
Ah,
you
okay,
know.
okay, insect.
When you go in, there's on the counter, there's some stuff to put on yourself. It's
Ah,
natural.
okay.
Okay. But you wear long pants, and,
Yes.
and you'll be okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, you are a very nice lady, and
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for coming with us.
Yeah, I really appreciate you.
Actually,
Thank
I think between you and I think you are a beautiful woman.
Oh,
That is
thank
true.
you.
True. Anyway, be good, take care. I'll go home.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good night.
God bless you. 네, 오늘 혹시 옆에서 들으셨어요? Did you hear that? Nice driver, Jason. Let me know. Let me know. Really nice commentary and give me some tips. Yeah. Thanks for the Darwin tour. Really, he made my day. Actually, I got a promise appointment with my friend in hostel, so maybe I can let them know which place we can join in here. Okay. Thanks. Wow. Ooh, we're back to city center. Bye bye. Thank you, Jason. And he told me I'm a beautiful lady. Ah, nice and beautiful lady. Okay, guys, thank you for stopping me and enjoying this streaming all day long, even it was turned off several times. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a nice morning and lunchtime and dinner today, and see you again in next time. 오늘 와주셔서 함께 즐겨주셔서 정말 감사합니다. 계속 커넥션 끊겨가지고 몇 번이고 이렇게 껐다 켰다 했는데도 같이 와주셔서 너무 감사해요. 오늘 이제 좋은 맛있게 아침 식사하시고 점심 식사도 맛있게 하시고 저녁도 맛있게 드시길 바랄게요. 다음에 또 만나요. Thank you guys. See you later. Thank you for stopping me.